Welcome back to another episode of Two Step Builds. Today we're going to get working on the Skyline again. Be doing some interior work, starting to work on the sound system that I got. So we'll go ahead and show you what I got here. Again, the head unit, as I mentioned a couple of times, I'm going to use it kind of just as mock-up. I'm going to probably buy the exact same thing. I did like it when it didn't work for a little while. I have a feeling it might have been on me. I might have fried the thing. Hooked it up, it worked for about a week. I don't know if it was a weird wiring deal. I've done quite a few of them in the past, so I don't know. It may or may not have been me. If the next one fries again, I'm going to just call it that it was the unit itself. But we'll go ahead and get this thing put together. But first, let's go ahead and show you what we got here. But the first time, let's go ahead and roll that intro. Alright guys, welcome back. So we're going to kind of go over what I got for this. It's kind of a budget sound system. I did a lot of looking on the internet, and these things actually had pretty good reviews. Kind of off-brand. It's called Gravity brand. The head unit itself is a Pioneer, but again, really good reviews. We'll kind of see how they go. If they suck later on, we'll go ahead and swap them out. But for now, I just wanted to kind of get some noise in there. Not that I don't love listening to the old RB20 there, but be nice to have a little bit of sound. The head unit's pretty cool because it does have a little microphone that goes up so you can do Bluetooth calling, link to your phone. I listen to a lot of Sirius XM when I'm driving, so that's nice. So without further ado, let's go ahead and take a look at what we got here. So for our amp, got a 4-channel 1200 watt amp for that guy. Looks like it's a pretty nice unit. Set up pretty good. It is quite heavy and it is a little bulky, so we're going to have to look around. I'd like to mount that in the trunk, but we'll kind of see where we can find it. As far as the head unit, again, that was Pioneer BHC-10 something. I'll go ahead and post that down below so you guys know exactly what head unit I'm using. But it is kind of cool. This actually folds in and goes back inside there, so it can be nice and flush. The dash does come off. It changes all sorts of different colors and stuff, so it is a pretty nice head unit. Again, I think that was probably something that I did, or I'm going to go ahead and blame it on myself there. So we'll pick up another one of those. If it blows up again, then we'll go ahead and go with something else after that. Here's what we're going to use to go ahead and mount that head unit up. Got this. In fact, I think I got all this stuff off of either eBay or Amazon. I forget which one it was. This guy's Metra install choice 997417 for a Nissan 93-04. These are the parts that I found that seem like they're going to work out pretty good to me. That's actually what mounts it inside the dash. Gives you a nice little cubby for your wallet and whatever else. I kind of got the bracket for the head unit there already mounted up, and then one of the brackets there, the other one's here. So we'll show you what we're going to do with those. I kind of looked around already, and we're going to probably just cut this entire piece right here clean off. That will actually sit behind the climate control there, and that'll kind of block that. So I think we can just lob that off, use the factory mounting holes, and then those just kind of clip right into the side of those like that guy there. So that ought to look pretty slick. Just typical amp kit. You know, I don't really need anything special. It does come with both the coax cables, fuse, all the wiring and everything we should need. That should work out pretty good. I may need a couple little extra bits and pieces, but we'll kind of go with that. And then as far as the speakers go, again, these are the Gravity 6.5 components. So they got the tweeters, which these cars never came with tweeters, so we'll kind of see how those lay out. I think I got a pretty good idea about where I want to put those, so we'll kind of go with that from there. And then as far as the wiring goes, got this little kit. Another Metra 70-1763 turbo wire. It does actually fit. These are both of the harnesses that you get right here, and those will mount up. And I'm going to show you guys a little trick that I found on mine, because the wiring that it had, I pulled a lot of these little wires out of here with just a little sunglasses or an eyeglass screwdriver, and moved them around a little bit because the wiring that they had on there did not match what I had. This one, if you're going to be running factory speakers and stuff, you may need, because that one will plug in for your factory amp and the speakers. I will not be running that. I'm going to be running all new. So as you can see, I just kind of ran a couple of the wire nuts there just to see if I could get the factory that head unit there to fire up. It will not fire up. So again, we'll have to re-buy a new one of those. But for the meantime, we can use that because it'll be the exact same adapter. And then for the antenna, I got this guy for the antenna adapter. It's the, I don't even know how to pronounce this, DKMUS antenna adapter. There's part number. this is what the guy looks like. So you got typical adapter for our stuff that goes into the Nissan stuff. And if you look here, this is what the Skyline antenna adapters look like. So this is what the factory Nissan ones look like here. I am going to get some better light in here, so as I'm putting the stuff together, you guys ought to be able to see me, but that definitely will not adapt to anything that we have. So kind of as we start going here, again, we'll mount that head unit in there. We're going to go ahead and probably start off. I got most of the door panel undone already here, so I'll kind of show you real quick how to get these door panels off. With the door panel on, you got 2 screws here with 2 little covers on them. Pop those covers over. Phillips bits on those guys. You got 3 down low, 1 there, 1 there, 1 there. You do have your window kit. You just lift up on that on the front side and then pull forward. That just slides in there. 2 clips on the bottom, 2 wiring harnesses for all those guys. And then for your handle will be in there like this guy. I got all my little screws and stuff inside there, but if you can see down inside there, there's another little round clip. You got to pop that clip out, take that screw off, and then you actually got to use a little tool. I got one of these guys, or you can use those plastic trim removal tools to pop that off. And then as well as that guy, there are no screws, but that just kind of sits up behind the door handle. So you kind of lift it up, you'll feel it kind of pop, and then you can lift the handle up, slide the whole handle out of there. And then at that point, the door panel is now loose. So we'll go ahead and pull that door panel off, kind of see where we're going to go. Hey guys, alright, so I got the door panel. Just pull straight up on it and it comes straight off. I was looking down here, and you can obviously tell that mine were in better shape at some point in its life. So the problem is going to be here, I believe this is a 4x6 speaker, and the speakers I have are 6.5s. I would like to run that tweeter up there. You can tell on that side if you can see it over there. Let me see if I can get some light on the situation. So you can see over there, I honestly do not have a whole lot of space, so I was a little nervous about running it flush. But the kit that I got here actually has a little bracket that you can bolt that tweeter into, and it kind of puts it on a little bit of an angle, kind of facing more towards you. So I think that'll look really nice. We'll mount it probably kind of right near the edge, so it's kind of facing up towards us here. As far as this goes here, I'm going to go ahead and pull this off. It's got 4 screws. I just pulled them off down there. I'm going to pull the 4 screws out of the speaker because this thing is really tight, and with as cold as it is out here, I really don't like prying on things too much. Things get cold, they like to break, so I'm going to just pull the 4 screws out of the speaker, see if there's something else holding this bracket in. But as soon as we get that bracket on, we can kind of set the speaker in place, see if I can just trim. I'm thinking I might be able to just trim this out, set the speaker in, run a couple of screws and call it good, but this is actually formed. It's not a flat surface. So I don't know. We'll get this off and kind of go from there. Alright, so there's the speaker bezel, if that's what they call that. And it looks like that's going to be big enough to at least house the speaker there. If we got to build a custom panel just to place the speaker in and then bolt the panel to this, bolt the speaker to that, we can go ahead and do that. But I'm going to see if this is modifiable to actually put that 6.5 in. So that kind of gives you an idea of what we're going to do there. I'll probably set you up on a time lapse when we start actually mounting all the speakers and figure out what's going to do with that bracket. I'll show you guys what I end up doing with that. But we also got to run that whole amp kit. I'm going to have to run the main wire from the front battery, obviously, to the back. I don't know if I'm going to try and find a hole in the door or underneath to run through the cab, or if I'm going to just find a good spot underneath to run that. I don't really like running power cables underneath the car you just never know what's flying up and hitting it and doing whatever else. They do run a pretty good size fuse. I think it was a 100 amp fuse, but even still, I mean, that's a lot of amperage to finally pop that thing. So we'll kind of take a look around, see what we're going to do. Again, I'm going to probably mount that in the trunk. Show you inside the trunk real quick. So he's got these factory bars right here that run all the way across, and they're what's supposed to lift the trunk and or hold it in place. As you can see, I learned the hard way that they do not do a very good job. So I leave that little bar in here to keep my head from getting destroyed again. But that is the trunk. I pulled this little panel off last night, and again, with stuff breaking, as you can see, this is just made of almost like a plastic or something like that. But as I pulled it off, that whole edge there broke off. That's just the metal back to the seats behind there. So I'm not real worried about this thing. I don't know, I guess maybe sound deadening or something like that. But I'm thinking we could probably go ahead and just make a nice little bracket. There's a screw from something. What's that from? Who knows? One of the speakers or something. Well, I think we can make a nice little, even just cut it out of some plywood and wrap it in some carpet. Some of this Berber carpet, whatever it is they got in here. Mount the amplifier to the back of that. That'll keep it nice and cool out of the way, so it's not in the trunk. It does have factory the wheel spare tire underneath there. Factory speakers are here. One there, one on the other side. Those ones look like they might be a little smaller than a 6.5, but if I need to either get like some sort of a level or something just to raise this a little bit to mount it on top, I can, because they mount inside there. And then the factory amplifier is that guy for the Panasonic. So I'm going to go ahead and remove that. This guy here is, I know it plays a part in the HICAS system. I know when you delete your HICAS, you got to actually cut one of these wires from preventing that HICAS light on your dash coming on all the time. So when we remove that, I'll show you guys that. And I don't know what it is about these old Japanese cars. I don't know if they had a funky voltage, but every single component on this has some sort of an amplifier. That's actually for the rear wiper motor, and it says right on there, wiper amplifier. Same thing with the door panel. Here, this little guy is for the wiper motors. Looking in the engine bay, almost all of these things have some sort of amplifier. There's something here. That one I have yet to figure out what that is. I know this one over here is for the fuel injectors. That's your fuel injector amplifier. Again, the coil packs have that igniter that acts as that. So I don't know if, I know they ran 12 volts. I got my little 12 volt battery here. Maybe there was just something, I'm not sure why it needed all the amplifier. 1990s technology, I suppose they hadn't got quite to that phase yet. So probably go ahead and set you up on a time lapse now. I think I'm going to probably pull the better part of the interior out so we can start running all the wires. We'll run the power wire. I'm going to just ground it right in the trunk area there. We'll run all the speaker wire for that, run the coax for the amplifier, just start getting everything kind of pre-limbed, and then we'll start mounting speakers and hopefully kind of get through this in the next couple days. We'll go ahead and set you up on time lapse now. Check it out. Alright guys, I'm out of breath. Sorry if I'm a little bit more nasally than usual today. I'm not feeling good honestly, but I really want to bring you guys this good content. I'm really enjoying this. This is really fun for me. Hope you guys are having fun too. Learning a little something. Oh, excuse me. But anyways, that one kind of kicked my butt. So I actually had to go look how to remove that back seat. As I can see, the little brackets right here. There's one on this side. There's one on that side. This thing's just kind of flipped upside down right now. And then there's two in the back that kind of place it behind the backrest. But these guys are just press fit in here. So into those little dudes there. One goes there, one goes on that side, and then the two other clips just kind of slide up behind there. looks like I got some cleaning to do. But the way you get those is you can pull up on them, but I don't know if you can see down inside there, but that is an actual clip. That's backwards. The way that I did this, I actually used a couple of these guys. So a 7/8 wrench, and then a screwdriver that acquaintance of mine decided to break the tip off of, so it's just become a pry bar for me now. So what I had to do was, while that seat was in here, obviously, get some light so you guys can actually see what's going on there. I had to get my screwdriver and kind of run it in front. Now, the head of that was actually too big to go straight through that little hole, but that way I could kind of come in and push down on this little plastic clip that's inside there to keep it in place, because it was trying to pull that entire clip out at the same time. So I popped that guy in there, held that clip down, and then what you can do, you can take your 7/8 wrench. As you can see, it fits around that guy. So you can get that wrench in there, get it, and you'll feel all of a sudden when it like goes all the way around there. And then you can kind of pry up while you're pulling up on the seat at the same time, and that'll finally pop free like that. So that's the way. Definitely suggest if you're trying to get these seats out. So again, they're pretty rusty and grimy. The passenger side one, for some reason, is a lot more rusty. You guys probably can't see that driver's side over there, but that one's definitely a lot more rusty. That one is a lot more difficult to get out of than the other one. As far as these back seats have gone, or are going to go, there's one 10mm bolt, I believe it is, right there. Another one on the other side, and then I believe this thing slides out of here. I may or may not even pull it out. If I pull it out, I'll show you guys an after with it. I probably can get to what I need to from here. I think if I can find somewhere to kind of slide through into the trunk from here, great. Otherwise, I may have to, yeah, you know what, I'm going to actually pull this backrest out of here. So we'll pull this backrest out and then pick up from there. Alright guys, so I had a chance to kind of look over the car here a little bit, and I think I got a pretty good game plan. I think I am going to try and go through the cab with the wiring. I really feel better about the wiring being on the inside rather than the outside of the vehicle. So, oh my gosh. Last video, I apologize for that light that was standing back here, so I'm trying to get a little bit better with this. But kind of looking at the speaker bezel here, I think I'm going to just try and build my own, honestly. Thinking if I just chop this one up and then it doesn't end up working, I'm going to be pissed that I chopped out these things, because I don't know how much these are worth, but you'd be blown away at how much some of these stock Skyline parts are worth. So I think I'm going to hold on to that. We'll go pick up some probably just 1/4 inch particle board or plywood or something, and then pick up some of those foamy guys that you put on the back side of there, because obviously this one kind of had this to keep the speaker from getting wet and whatever else if water gets down inside that. So we'll pick up a couple of those parts. When we build those, we'll make a video on building those. I know there's a couple guys that actually sell them, but we'll go ahead and build them and go from there. I am going to start probably trying to run some of the wiring. This power cable, and this one was blue, which is kind of interesting, but I'm going to try and run it a little nice. I do got a little battery tender here since this thing does sit in the garage a lot, but I'd like it to look nice and clean in here, not crazy. I mean, it's going to be a big giant blue wire, so it's going to look a little weird anyways, but I'd like to kind of run it maybe around the back here, around maybe through the throttle, hold down cable there, and then down. We'll go, actually, scratch that. Going to go through here, and then there is a little port. Yeah, you guys may not be able to see. I could grab my thing. There's a port over here where there's a wire that runs through the fender here, and then it comes into the interior. Comes into the interior up underneath here. I had a chance to pull a couple little panels off. I pulled the side seal off. Those are just those little plastic clips. If the screw doesn't come out for you, just get a little pry tool underneath it. Just give it a little bit of pressure while you're doing those screws, and those little screws will come out of those little clips there. And then obviously somebody at some point in the last 25 years has been messing around, because this had 0 screws or anything in it. It looks like it should have 1, 2, probably 3 at some point. There are none in there now, so I'll have to find a couple of screws to throw back in that, but that was a little kick panel right there. So anyways, we'll start running that wiring. I did pull this little guy off too. That was that little corner piece up there. It was just simply 3 little clips on there. One of the clips popped off, so I'll pop that off if it's not broken. Looks alright to me. So it's just 3 little tabs. Just ran my little tool back in there and just popped it off. We'll figure out, that'll be actually really pretty simple. That's already got a little spot where that was allowing that old wiring to go through. So we'll put those on there. I'll show those to you now if I can find it. Open eyes, shut mouth, right in front of my face the whole time. So that's that little tweeter. Comes in a couple of different cases. This one here, it's got kind of that angle on it. So I think what we'll do, we'll take that little panel that I set down over there. We'll just mount it on the side like that. It'll kind of sit kind of facing you, which will be really nice. And then we already got a spot. We can run those wires down through there into the door, and then probably see if we can find, I'm sure we can find either a couple of factory holes that we can throw that thing in, or when we mount that guy for the speaker, we'll try and do something to actually mount that component up inside there, or outside. Maybe it did have a lot of space, so if we can mount it somewhere, I'd like it to keep out of the weather and whatever else. So we'll kind of figure all that as that goes. We got another little hole right there. We can peel this back if we have to, try and get some access for that. But keep working away. I'll set you guys up on a time lapse. I'm sure that I don't want this video to get too long, so try and run some of this wiring, and then we'll probably call it, pick back up. We'll keep getting things. Probably be, I don't know, maybe a 3 or 4 part video getting all this stuff. The head unit there, it should be relatively easy. Again, those 2 little tabs will snap off, and then that whole thing should just slide in. I just wanted to get all the wiring and everything around so we didn't have to put it in and pull it out and whatever else. So keep working away here, and then I'll pick you guys back up as soon as we're done. Alright guys, progress was made here. So, it took me forever actually to get that wire through that grommet in the dash there. I was trying to be really gentle with it because obviously I don't want water pouring in from that grommet there, so I tried to make as little hole as I could and then fish that wire through, so it kind of expanded that grommet as it went through. I think I finally got it. Looks pretty good to me. Here, I'll grab my light so we can actually see what I'm doing here. So big blue wire there. Follow it around. I got some little clips that actually will clip onto this little pinch weld here on the dash, so we'll go ahead and clip it on there. Got it wrapped around, and then again it goes down through. We'll grommet down in there into the dash where it comes out right up there. You can see, battery's dying. Better go grab a battery. Alright, we're back. So, it goes down there. I actually pulled off all the carpet and ran it up underneath here. So, in my opinion, having a nice install is one of the most important things. If it looks like crap, then it's going to look like crap. So, I actually unbolted the seatbelt mount there. Comes out there, up around. That backrest will cover all that. The bottom will cover that part. And then it comes out right up there. So, just pulled a couple pieces apart, and then wrapped everything through. Again, this is that piece that's on the back usually. I don't know, it cracked on that one side over here. So we'll probably just pick up some thin, again, maybe just some 1/4 inch sheetrock, something like that. Get, use this as a template and then make a pattern in the back. We'll mount that amplifier back there. That way we know it's got sufficient heat resistance and everything else, because we don't want anything starting on fire. That'd be unfortunate. I'm going to go ahead and probably run the coax, and I'm going to have the amp turn on wire, the little blue wire that goes from your thing to actually tell that thing to run on. So I'll have to kind of pull that carpet back a little bit again, but I'll probably follow that same route from back behind the dash where the head unit's going to go. back around. I won't bore you guys with all that. All right, guys. Thanks again for joining me here at Two Step Builds as we continue moving on this Skyline project. Get it back up and running. Hopefully, we're going to figure out what we're going to do those valve covers. I really want to paint them, especially while they're off right now. If I got to take that front timing cover off and mess around with the cast, I guess that's something we'll kind of learn together as far as getting that timing reset, figure out how to do that. But it'll be really nice while everything's off there anyways. Go ahead and get that all painted up, looking nice. We are going to go with an aftermarket catch can. I don't remember if I found one that I want or not yet. I would love to go with like a Cusco or a Nismo or something, but I'm not joking. They're probably $500-600 for the catch can alone. So I don't know that I'm going to go crazy eBay anything special. I really don't want that on here, but probably go with I don't know. I'll find the one. I'll show a picture of it down below here of what that catch can is going to look like. So we'll get some what is it, the polyurethane or the silicone hoses. We're going to replace a lot of these hoses in here with silicone. The ones that we can't find in a kit, we'll buy just new. A lot of them are just vacuum hoses anyway, so we'll just go ahead and buy some vacuum hose that we need to go ahead and get that done. And then, yeah, hopefully be able to fire this thing up here in the next month or so and then take it for a rip. So again, thanks for joining me. If you like what you see, you want to keep following along, make sure you subscribe below. Give me a thumbs up, comments, anything that I can do better. This is my third video, so hopefully I'll be searchable now. And again, remember, your hands ain't dirty, you ain't bleeding, you're not doing it right.